Once upon a time, in a busy African town called Fiditi, there lived a woman named Iya Awero. She was known far and wide for her restaurant, which attracted all kinds of people: traders, travelers, workers, and even local chiefs. People loved her food because it seemed to have a special flavor they couldn't find anywhere else. Some whispered that there was something different about her cooking, though they couldn't explain what it actually was. They would say that Iya Awero's food is the most delicious food in the whole of the town. There's just something in it that you can't find anywhere else. Every day, Iya Awero woke up before dawn, lit a charcoal stove, and began cooking for the day. She made dishes from scratch, stirring huge pots of rich stews, cooking fluffy rice, frying fresh plantains, and grilling fish seasoned with a blend of spices. Her jollof rice was red and smoky. Her beans were creamy and her meat were tender. She had built such a reputation that by midday, her restaurant would be filled with customers. They would sit on wooden benches, sharing stories, jokes, and laughter as they ate. The whole town adored Iya Awero's food and her business prospered. But what people didn't know was the strange ritual practice that Iya Awero kept as a secret from everybody. Every morning before anyone arrived, she would fill a big bucket with warm water and prepare for her bath. After scrubbing herself from head to toe, she would take that same water, chant some incantations in it, and pour it inside a pot in her kitchen. Then she would use it to cook the food for her customers. This was Iya Awero's massive sales secret. She was advised by a witch doctor to always cook with the water she used in bathing herself so that she could get more customers and make her food special among other food sellers in the town. For many years, no one suspected anything. The food continued to taste wonderful, and Iya Awero's popularity grew even beyond Fiditi village. But as the saying goes, the truth is like a smoke. No matter how you try to hide it, it will find a way to rise. And that was exactly what happened. One fateful evening, a young man identified as Asumo, who was a curious trader from another village, visited Iya Awero's restaurant. Asumo had heard stories of her cooking and decided to stop by. The morning after Asumo first visited the restaurant, he returned, determined to find out Iya Awero's secret. He arrived very early in the morning when the streets were quiet and found a small crack in the wall at the back of the restaurant. Through it, he could see into the kitchen and the small storage room next to it. He hid himself there, watching carefully. Not long after, he saw Iya Awero enter the kitchen, carrying a large bucket of water. She looked around to make sure no one was watching, then set the bucket down and closed the door behind her. Asumo watched as she undressed herself and began to take a bath, using the water in the bucket to scrub herself from head to toe. She appeared to be relaxed, not knowing that someone could see her. After she finished bathing, She took a small cloth, dried herself off, and picked up the bucket of the water she bathed with. To her small surprise, she carried the bucket over the stove where a large pot sat ready. Without hesitating, she poured the bath water in the pot and began to stir it, quietly chanting incantations while performing the ritual. Asumo felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He had never seen anything like this before. The special flavor people talked about in her food suddenly made sense to him, and it made him feel sick. Unable to stay hidden any longer, Asumo left his hiding spot, disturbed by what he had seen. But he knew he couldn't keep this to himself. The people of Fiditi deserved to know the truth. Later in the morning, as the restaurant began to fill with customers, Asumo returned and confronted Iya Awero. He stepped forward in front of everyone and, in a loud voice, asked a question. Iya Awero, is it true that you cook your food with the water you bathe with? The customers that were present went silent, shocked by his question. Iya Awero's face suddenly changed, and she tried to deny it, stammering as she spoke. But Asumo described exactly what he had seen, explaining to everyone how she poured the water she used in bathing herself into the cooking pot. Iya Awero tried to laugh it off, saying that Asumo was lying. But as more people questioned her, she finally broke down and admitted it, saying that she only did it to make the food unique, that she believed that by using her own bath water, she was going to add a part of herself to every meal, like a blessing. The people of Fiditi were shocked. Some couldn't believe they had eaten a food prepared like that for so long. A blessing, they murmured, or a curse. People began to leave one by one and stopped visiting Iya Awero's restaurants. Her loyal customers stopped coming, and her business crumbled. No one wanted to eat food prepared with someone's bath water, no matter how delicious it had tasted. Few days after, Iya Awero's restaurant that used to be a famous one became empty. The laughter and chatter that had once filled it were gone, replaced by silence and dust. Iya Awero became an outcast, shunned and mocked by the people of Fiditi who had once praised her. As the days passed, she left the town quietly one night and was never seen again. We finally come to the end of the video, guys. If you find this content interesting, please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can always get notified anytime I drop a new video just like this one. Thank you.